The UN's human rights chief is warning that changes to Pakistan's constitution could have far-reaching consequences. A recent amendment granted the head of the military and other top officials legal immunity, shielding them from prosecution for life. Critics say the changes will weaken the courts and further empower the military. In an interview with DW, Pakistan's defense minister brushed aside these concerns.
Pakistan's already powerful army chief, Field Marshal Asim Munir, has become more powerful than ever. A recent constitutional amendment has given him expanded powers and lifelong legal immunity. The changes also elevate the Field Marshal to Chief of Defence Forces, putting the Air Force and the Navy under his authority. And a newly created constitutional court whose judges will be nominated by the executive will replace the previous authority of the Supreme Court on constitutional matters. The United Nations Human Rights Office say the amendments run counter to the separation of powers.
Sweeping immunity provisions like these undermine accountability, which is a cornerstone of the human rights framework and democratic control of the armed forces under the rule of law. We are concerned that these amendments risk far-reaching consequences for the principles of democracy and the rule of law, which the Pakistani people hold dear.
The government argues the changes were necessary to modernize the military's command structure in the wake of a military clash with arch-rival India in May and ongoing border tensions with neighbouring Afghanistan. Government officials have referred to the country's current political system as hybrid rule and say it will help stabilize the economy and counter the growing threat of militancy. In an interview with DW, Pakistan's defense minister drew a line between the new structure and past ones that allowed military dictators to take over completely. He called the recent changes a good example of military and civilian cooperation.
But please try to understand.
It does not intervene in the way that Ayub Khan, General Yahya, Zia or Musharraf did. They broke the constitution. The judiciary sealed it and made the illegal into the legal. There's no such thing here. I personally think there's no danger to democracy due to this system. Democracy can run with the current situation. I believe democracy will strengthen if the economy improves.
Pakistan's biggest opposition party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, has criticized the constitutional amendments. The party of imprisoned former Prime Minister Imran Khan says the changes were made out of fear of Khan's popularity. Khan was convicted of corruption but denies any wrongdoing. His party says he's being punished because of his public criticism of the military. It says the new rules are aimed at using the judiciary to keep him in jail and out of power. Pakistan's military and the government have denied these accusations.
Now let's bring in Zulfi Bukhari. He's an advisor to Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan and a senior leader of his party. Now, during Imran Khan's government, your party came to power with direct military backing and laid the path for what's happening today. So why attack this amendment now?
When you say direct military backing, let me just correct you. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf came into power with the mandate of the people. It was one of the most fair elections that took place. If anything, the military dampened our majority in parliament, didn't increase it. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has been the most popular party in Pakistan since 2013 onwards. So, you know, when you look at military's involvement in, or the establishment's involvement in elections or with the government to be, it's always siding with the party that's going to win the election anyways. It's never a case where they come and completely destroy the democratic process and bring in a hybrid or fraudulent illegal government. It always just sides with, let it been Benazir Bhutto in the past or Nawaz Sharif. They were winning the elections anyways, but the establishment got on board also. The same thing was with PTI, is that they could have been on good terms with PTI, but they certainly didn't help us win the election.
Now, if senior military commanders now get lifelong immunity, how can any future PTI government hold them accountable?
Well, there's only really Russia who has a similar sort of law to this about the leader of the country. The president and both the chief of army staff have been given immunity, which is totally unheard of because they're the highest of public servants. They hold the highest of ranks, meaning that they should have the highest level of accountability to the people. Look, at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is that whenever this sort of dictatorship ends, all these things would and eventually be rewound and overturned. But until then, all you're seeing is basically democracy and now the judiciary being completely crushed.
Now, why does your party say that the constitutional amendment is mainly targeting Imran Khan?
Well, look, you have three reasons for it. A, everything that has taken place now, when it's now into the courts for Imran Khan's cases. Now, all of a sudden, you've created this constitutional court bench, which basically only has the judges which are handpicked by the executive, by the government itself. And if you look at the judges that have been picked, they're all the people that have always shown favor to the current setup. And they're being rewarded for it now by being on this bench. So naturally, when you have about 200 cases on Imran Khan that are all bogus and none of them really will have any legs and wouldn't hold in the court of law, you've made a special sort of court to bring it to make sure they get the decision that you want. And Imran Khan will end up being the prime target of this, or their illegal activities such as changing the constitution and so on and so forth. So, the main brunt of this is Imran Khan and Imran Khan's popularity. There is no other way to curb him. So all these, illegal laws and amendments will be done through this court, which is by their favorite judges, out of which many senior judges have resigned on the back of this. So, and the High Court, very senior High Court judges have actually gone to court against the 27th Amendment. So it just shows you even where the judiciary stands on this.
Now, very briefly, if Imran Khan is sidelined due to his jail time and his isolation, is there nobody else, no other leader ready to step up?
Well, we have an acting chairman in place at the moment. We have a secretary general in place at the moment. The party, considering all its the way that it's been clamped down upon, protesters arrested, people killed, main leadership, of course, Imran Khan and other main leadership, our former foreign minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and others are in prison. Apart from all of that happening, the party is still gelled very much together. It's still the largest political national level party. You got to understand that Benazir Bhutto's party is very limited to Sindh only, and Nawaz Sharif's party is pretty non-existent unless when they do a fraudulent or a rigged election. In Pakistan, Tehreek-e-Insaf is nationally the most popular party. So considering Imran Khan has been in jail for over 2 years, the party itself, despite all difficulties and brutality, has held together very firmly.
Thank you very much. Zulfi Bukhari there, advisor to Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan and a senior leader of his party. Thank you very much.
Thank you.